psychedelic experience is only a glimpse of genuine mystical insight, but a glimpse which can be matured and deepened by the various ways of meditation in which drugs are no longer necessary or useful. When you get the message, hang up the phone. For psychedelic drugs are simply instruments like microscopes, telescopes, and telephones. The biologist does not sit with the eye permanently glued to the microscope. He goes away and works on what he has seen.
There's lots of traps. The proof is in the pudding, right? Like the proof is in how do you live? Like how do people feel when they're around you? You know, what's the energy that comes across when you enter into a room? Is there more love? Is there more laughter? Is there a field of peace, of shalom, if you will, that accompanies you? And that to me is the determinant of what's going on. Now, when you find somebody, no matter how much medicine they've done that's dysregulated, you'll see signs of potentially paranoia or signs of inflation where you can tell that they somehow think they're better than everybody else, or you can see signs of escapism or see signs where they're retracted, you know, because they're kind of constantly in their own world. And so there are plenty of traps that people can fall in. Let's say you're on the phone with God, and let's say you got God's number and you talk to God once and you say, "Oh, God, thank you." And you hang up the phone and you never dial it again. Would you do that? Like, no, you got God's phone number. You're going to call him up. He's your buddy. You know, and I'm not saying that I'm talking to God every time I'm going there and whatever that means, but your access to spirit is like a connection that you can make, that you can call and like, hey, yeah, like I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to talk to spirit. I'm going to see what spirit has to say. The situation and the landscape is changing. Like, let me see what spirit has to say. As a psychonaut, I hear that quote all the time because people are like, oh, you're doing too many plant medicine journeys. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Do you realize how much I love my fucking life? Like, I don't know what grounds you're saying that I should be doing something different, but if it's radical happiness, love, joy, performance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, like I don't know what you're criticizing me for. However, this is working for me, and I think it's because there's both a humility and also a genuine connection that I'm making that's allowing me to converse with potentially just the higher aspects of myself, potentially just my own soul, potentially something that includes and transcends my soul. And so while I feel like there is some merit to that, you have to bring it into your physical form. You can't use this as a form of escapism. You can't use it as the only thing you're looking forward to in your day. Like you have to be able to find the ecstatic and find the rapture and find those feelings all over the place. You know, your tears need to be close. Your laughter needs to be close. You know, that joy of being with, you know, your friends and sharing life, it all needs to be close to the surface. And if the plant medicine path isn't taking you closer and ever closer to that, then you really need to adjust, slow down, find a different path. So I think it really just depends. It depends on the individual. And that quote isn't a universal, but it also tells a caveat of like, hey, there are traps here.